Welcome back to another edition of FlowState. I hope everybody's doing exceptionally well. I know that I'm feeling calm, collected. We're on our way down to the Atlantic Ocean, our normal spot, or at least that's what it's been for the past few weeks. I was introduced to a quote today, and I'm going to butcher the gentleman's name. His last name is Maslow. What one can be, one must be. That just, I literally, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Wow. First of all, is that not the most inspiring shit ever? And one of the reasons it is so inspiring, it's because it's just a few words. It's not this long speech about, pumping you up or whatever. It is so simplistic. And if you stop to think about it, it really cuts to the core of all of humanity, tapping in to the individual's higher purpose, right? Not a religious context or anything like that. That's not at all what I'm about. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's about unrealized gains, unrealized potential, unrealized dedication, unrealized discipline, commitment. The list goes on and on and on. What one can be, one must be. It's a moral obligation to the world to live up to your highest potential. It's a detriment to humanity if you fall short of anything of attempted excellence. We may not achieve it, but it's our responsibility to live every day and to fight for that excellence, to empower not only yourself, but the people that you love, the people around you, strangers, your family, everyone. By contributing to excellence, you are uplifting the human experience for not only yourself, but the world, which is my singular focus, to uplift the human experience for as many people as possible by taking daily action that closes the gap between where you were, where you are, and where you're going. What one can be, one must be. Absolutely incredible. And it's just such a simple phrase that resonates so deeply, cuts through the core of all the bullshit, of all the distractions, of all the things that are not important, that we prop up on these pedestals only to create unmanageable levels of anxiety, dependency on sugar and other stimulants that are literally eating you from the inside. Cancer, stress, your inability to be in control of your emotions, your mind, incessant thinking, capturing your ability to engage with the world in the present moment. Pay attention the next time you're out in the world engaging. See how many people are actually present. I mean, you can tell. Just start having a conversation with some random person. Do they look at you in the eyes? Can you see what's going on? Can you feel them? it's important to understand that we're all energy beings, constantly transmitting and receiving energy. A communication is nothing more than a transfer of energy. It just so happens, for the most part, that the people engaged in the conversation both have receptors to process the energy. Language, right? These are mechanisms, whoa, to be able to communicate. But what is communication? Communication is simply a transfer of energy to a participant, willing or unwilling, that is dialed in to being able to understand what is being said. Now, whether you are just listening or you're already always listening, it's a different deal altogether, or whether you hear them, are all different stages of conscious and unconscious behavior. Sorry, I just need to not die. Unlock Tiga. And we're rolling. The second phase of our journey here. If you're new to this channel, this vibe, this energy, my mission is to empower as many lives as possible to tap into the greatness and the uniqueness that every human has available to them by providing actionable tools that they can implement in their daily life to empower the conscious mind with intention, purpose, grounded in your values, in alignment with your goals, for you to live a purpose-driven life, not one that's been co-opted by programming or just general influence altogether. It's about ownership. It's about sovereignty, control over the decisions you make, the choices. Two different things, two very different things, the difference between a decision and a choice. Life is about enjoyment. It's not about suffering. There is crazy amounts of suffering that happens all around the world. If you're not in a war-torn country, if you're not dealing with horrific conflict of some kind, some insane natural disaster, geopolitics, right? For the most part, people are going about their day living in their own existence that they've created for themselves. A lot of it captured by things far beyond your control. But what is in your control is how you process this information and what you choose to do with it, the things you take action on, the things that you do not take action on, which is just as important, how you prioritize your day, how you choose to live your life. These are fundamental truths to either an empowered life or one that isn't quite really your own. Now, you may think it is, but in reality, it's like a pinball machine being jostled in a container that has been designed for you. You think you might have the opportunity to push the button and to move the flapper and get pushed into one direction or another. But all of this is an uphill battle unless you take ownership, and I would argue extreme ownership, of your body, your mind, your actions, grounded in your values, in alignment with your goals, to really maximize the potential of your time on Earth, of which incredibly finite, and you have no idea how long, right? That's a crazy concept. It's like you can shoot for the moon, you can do everything in your power to make sure that you have a healthy body, healthy mind, solid relationships. You just never know. Personally, I would much rather live with courage, dignity, conviction, working hard on preserving the sanctity of my mind, my spirit, living a virtuous life, than one of pain and struggle for a long time, than putting in the work and dying early. It's about both delayed gratification as well as immediate gratification, to balance leveraging our purpose, desires, reinforcing the path that we're on, the positive reinforcement. Everything I do is a holistic approach to coaching. It's not about any one thing. It's about leveraging everything that we have available to us. But there are certain truths, some fundamentals that we cannot escape. Vitality being one of them. One of my core values, vitality. I want to feel that raw energy every day, every minute of every day. I want to feel powerful. This is in your control to create. Yes, you're going to need to work. Yes, it's going to take time. But what is the alternative? Being unhealthy, unhappy, pumped up, full of pharmaceuticals, can barely walk, can barely talk, loss of bodily functions, random blackout moments, not having the ability to understand the things that are happening in front of you, to be able to make choices and decisions that have severe impact on your life. Just take a moment and appreciate this amazing view. If you can get outside in nature, no matter where you are, you live in Manhattan, you live in Tokyo, whatever, it doesn't matter. Get outside, find a park, engage in some solitude, meditate. 3 conscious breaths. That's a meditative practice. That's all it takes. It's not about making things more complicated than they need to be. It's about taking ownership of your life, intentional action, deepening relationships, show up, do the things you say you're going to do, not for anyone else, but you. You are your purpose. You are your greatest asset. Are you aspiring to become a parent? Think of that. Think of the responsibility that you have. You know, I fucking stab myself every time I walk by that cactus. It's like quite an aggressive kiss, I have to say. Whoa. Non-action is action. Non-action can be empowering if intentional, if it's part of a structured thinking that gets you closer to your goals and achieving them by taking action in some form. Not doing something can be the most empowering thing that you do today. A conscious effort not to participate in self-destructive behavior, right? You're taking action in non-action is creating a positive feedback loop that compounds over time that can be in alignment with your goals. Going back to vitality as a principle of life. If you're a man and not lifting weights, not waking up with an erection that you could hang wet towels on every morning, you're not living in vitality. Your libido is directly correlated to vitality. If you're a woman and not lifting weights, not tapping in to your absolute greatness, the femininity, the goddess that you are, your libido is going to be compromised. Obviously, there are very basic differences between men and women. You know, men, the wind blows, your dick gets hard. Women, not at all the same. It is still a fundamental truth that without vitality, you compromise your ability to perform on all levels. You need to take care of yourself as your primary objective in life so you can live in service to others. Your children, your brother, your mother, your sister, your parents, your husband, your wife. Being able to engage in life, being able to pick up a bag of groceries, for fuck's sake. I mean, there are so many people who are incapable because of such deep-rooted self-destructive behavior. It's not an option for sustained life. It just is not an option. being conscious of the food you put in, the choices you're making on an ongoing basis, the actions you take are either getting you closer to achieving your goals by just, let's just say, establishing a baseline from which you can grow, as opposed to recovering to a baseline that is just like a basic operating standard. You know, the concept of -1 +1 in terms of traditional psychology. Let's use this analogy. So traditional psychology was like taking a patient and going from a deficit to baseline, right? Like, we're starting at -30 or -50. I'm about to kill myself, and you know, that kind of thing. So let's +1 it up until 0, where we're just getting started to kind of alleviate the trauma of it all, to, let's say, positive psychology, which is founded on the idea of taking you from 0 to +20 or whatever. You know, it's all from base to positive as opposed to deficit to neutral. I'm all about the positive psychology frame. You have such unbelievable potential in you. And maybe you're already taking the necessary steps that are in alignment with your goals. And maybe you're just looking to refine that process. Whether you're seeking guidance or already on your path, the 10 steps to everyday action, which you can download using the link in the description, is an amazing framework to refine or to get you started on this process. I use this all the time to keep refining. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is perfect. Growth is a journey. The destination is when you die, all right? And you don't want to get there prematurely. You want to live every fucking moment of every day with vitality and power and control, unstoppable force that exists in all of us. Getting things dialed in is a moral responsibility to humanity to uplift not only yourself, but the world around you. It's so vital to the success of our little project, meaning humans, humanity, Earth. There are so many things at work detracting, pushing us in a negative space. Negativity is so easy. Positivity is a challenge. You have to consistently work at positivity. Think of the last time you thought of something negative, right? What kind of crazy psychotic feedback loop did it trigger? It was like da, 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 da. And not 1, but 2, but 3, but 4, 5, or 10 positive thoughts could break you free from that, because that's just the nature of the way our human brain works. It latches on like a methamphetamine sorry, cracked me up there. I had the whole vision in my head. It's not funny, but it's like, you know, I've taken speed. I know what that loop is. You know, I'm sure you've had your fair share of experiences. We're all human. We all take advantage of moments. Some we're proud of, some we're not. The important thing is not to dwell on it, not to use that as a defining moment in your life to keep breaking you down, to keeping you from achieving just that 1%, that +1, to get you closer to 0 and then beyond. Right? And it's that incessant thinking, that mind, that co-opted mind, that psychotic mind. And it happens to everyone, you know. I get locked in a loop sometimes. I have tools that are at my disposal in this moment, in the present, and my future you, or future me in this case, has those tools to empower himself should anything arise. These tools are available to everyone. It's a matter of practice, investing in yourself. You are your highest purpose. You are your purpose in life. There's no greater commitment to yourself that you can make. You cannot help others if you're struggling yourself. You will never be able to show up fully the way they need you to if you can't do it for yourself. You are the most important in this whole narrative. Because if you can't show up and love yourself and take action to elevate your own experience, how are you expected to do it for someone else? I'll use this analogy. It's like, the plumber or whatever, electrician, it could be anything. They've been doing the job for 30 years, right? They've been doing something for 30 years. Does it mean that they've been doing it the right way? No. It doesn't necessarily mean they've been doing it the wrong way either. It just means that they've been doing it for 30 years. But someone could come in, fresh out of this, whatever, education system, there's like a new way of doing something that is so much better than the way that the other person had been working, operating in this frame of existence for 30 years. And, there could be ego there, bouncing off, and conflict. But at the end of the day, it comes down to understanding that just because something has been going on for so long doesn't mean that it's in your best interest to keep doing it that way. Limiting beliefs about change, about progress, about growth, it's all about continuing to work and evolve and progress, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1, every moment of every day. And there'll be moments where it's, +1, -2, right? And you got to work extra hard to get back to where you were, but that's part of growth. It's not a straight line. It's like fucking all over the place, It's like a 4-year-old taking 5 markers and drawing it all on a white paper. It's like, look at this. Yeah, that's growth. That is like the cleanest representation of the process of growth. And it never ends. It ends when you die, when everything ends for you. All right, I'm here to record my video as I normally do. I'll be back in a little while. If you're feeling stuck or ready to take things to the next level, I have something that could make all the difference. It's called the 10 Steps to Everyday Action. This isn't just another download or checklist. It's a 91-day journey packed with high-impact emails, each carefully designed to guide you through building a balanced, purpose-driven life. Each email focuses on something different, like defining core values, building resilience, and mastering time management. And it's all designed to fit into your everyday life. Imagine 91 days of intentional growth delivered right to your inbox. With each step, you'll get exercises and tools to help you find clarity, set meaningful goals, and develop the habits that truly support you. This is all about real progress without the fluff. If you're ready to create lasting change, download the 10 Steps to Everyday Action using the link in my bio, or drop a comment below and I will send it to you. Take the first step now. All right, we're back, baby. That was a great session. Recorded 2 scripted videos. Hope you enjoyed the 10 Steps to Everyday Action promo. I cannot encourage you enough to take advantage. And, it's zero cost. In fact, it's more than just the 10 steps. You get pushed into a 91-day self-discovery journey that I built to compound on the work that hopefully you will have done with the 10 steps to everyday action, to get clarity, to reposition your life, to promote growth in a meaningful way that isn't surrounding itself with all kinds of extra bullshit, gets to the core of what you should be focusing your efforts on, to refine your thinking, to empower you. That's the whole idea. I've had some great feedback. People are really into it, which is the whole purpose of it, is to elevate the experience, not make it this dreaded thing, but to leverage the work you've already put in, right? You're here, you're listening, you've showed up, you've taken the first step. That is massive. I mean, I would love to extend a congratulations, or I am congratulating you, not would love, but I am congratulating you on this first step, just showing up here in this moment for whatever reason and taking action. This whole conversation has been about taking action. And the consequences of not taking intentional action, right? We spoke about the benefits of not taking action, right? When we know that in many ways, not doing something is moving us closer to achieving our goals. And I'll break it down in a specific way. Let's say we're focused on improving our overall fitness levels. Not taking action in one form could look like, well, I don't really feel like going to the gym today. My response to that is, fuck your feelings. They have no place in this conversation. Another way of framing it is to say, I am not participating in eating food like from McDonald's, for example, right? It's like, no, I think I'm gonna stay home. You guys go enjoy, right? Not taking action in consuming food that is out of alignment with your long-term goals, right? But you still needed to take action on that. That's a +1. That's a major win. You should celebrate that by buying and eating a fucking delicious steak. Fuck McDonald's. Fuck all of it. Focus. Focus, focus, focus on the reps. I identify as someone who looks after their body and their mind and their spirit so I can show up fully in life and support people that I love. That's empowerment. That's taking life by the fucking balls and saying, I got this. It's not going out and eating McDonald's and watching Netflix for 8 hours and then waking up and feeling like a total piece of shit. Look, I've been there, you've been there, it's life. But the choices leading up to that moment, as your future you makes those choices for you in the present moment, no more. No more wasting away the very precious commodity that all humans have in equal amounts, which is time. I don't care if you have negative cryptocurrency in your account or you're Elon Musk. You know, we're all basically handed the same deck of cards. Now, yes, of course, eating organic costs more than not. Eating organic will contribute to your quality of life. There is a cost associated with that. There's still an opportunity for you to leverage being wise and focusing on uplifting and living in alignment with your objectives by focusing on buying nutrient-dense whole foods that support your journey, not detract from it. So, does someone like Elon have an advantage because they have more resources? Yes. Only if they choose to use them. How many people do you know that are so preoccupied with escaping their own reality that for all intents and purposes have unlimited resources? You probably know at least one person who has a really good paying job, who's always going out Friday and Saturday night, getting really fucked up, and essentially taking a week to recover, swearing that they're never doing that again. But by Thursday, they're like, ooh, I feel pretty good. It's time to call the dealer. You get my point. Live into every day as a professional, someone who gives a shit about themselves, someone who loves themselves enough to respect the fundamental flow of nature, not detracting from it, stimulating muscle growth, strength and power, male, female, question mark, it does not matter. Operating from a place of power and strength will serve you well. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Put in the reps. Yes, it's going to be challenging at times. Yes, it requires effort. But so does rotting in bed from poor decisions made that compound over time and leave you empty and broken. You choose. I know what I've chosen for myself. Vitality. One of my core grounding values. Discernment is another one of my core values. Choosing wisely, intentionality, being conscious in everything you do, being mindful with the approach, the way you speak to yourself. While we're on it, might as well go through the other two. Going back in time to the ancient Greeks for a little wisdom. Live with arete. Excellence and virtue. Grounding principles in my life. The way I look to meet excellence every day in everything I do. Arete. So powerful. Such a beautiful word that means so much with a focus on excellence. Be excellent. Be a professional. Show up with a high value for yourself, a high operating standard. Do not be sloppy in your life. Attack the day. Make your fucking bed. Eat protein. Dial it in. Don't just do it because I'm encouraging you to. Do it because you know that it makes you feel better. Long-term delayed gratification supported by immediate gratification. These things work in tandem, supporting each other. There's plenty of research on the benefit of protein-rich eating, meaning protein should be your priority for every meal. You should also be eating some select vegetables, okay, some fibrous starches like sweet potato, other things. Remove refined carbohydrates as much as possible. You get carbohydrates from fruit and other vegetables. You really don't need to be eating pasta every meal. Oh shit, where's Tiga? Tiga, did I miss him? Oh, there he is. Look at this guy. Join the sunset walk. All right, slow down, buddy. Okay. Gotcha. One-handed. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Fucking gorgeous. I know I'm swearing a lot. I apologize if I offend you. It's not really my problem though. Fruit. Ooh, I love fruit. I'm also very dialed in to the reality of fruit and the amount of sugar that most fruit contains is insane, okay? Your body does not discriminate between refined sugar and fructose. It just doesn't. Yes, there's added fiber. There's other things that come along with eating natural whole foods, but it's still broken down into sugar. You want to keep your overall sugar intake under control. It will serve you well in life. Of course, there are exceptions. Tour de France riders have an insanely high glucose levels, like over 100, way over 100, like at all times. But, you know, these are high functioning, high performance, elite of the elite athletes. It's not necessarily a good strategy for health, but they're competing at this level and they've determined through the scientific method that keeping your glucose levels high is a net positive for the duration of that race. Amongst other endurance athletes, it's also true. But unless you're an endurance athlete, do not overload on sugar. Honey, same deal. Honey is an incredible superfood. I fucking love it. I use it almost every day. I am super active and I require deep regenerative nourishment that not only provides nutrients, but helps me sustain high levels of activity. Unless you're engaged in this kind of behavior, you need to moderate your fruit intake. Just like all carbohydrates turn into sugar, it's the same thing with fruit. Fruit is pure sugar. My kids eat fruit. I love fruit. I'm a big supporter of fruit. It's just a matter of portion size, knowing how to optimize the order in which you're eating to promote healthy insulin function, reducing your glucose spikes, which ties into energy crashes, the need for more sugar, and the cycle continues. My understanding, based on the scientific method and studies that have been done, are to eat food in the following order. To alleviate glucose spikes, you start by eating fibrous vegetables. You move to protein and fat, starch, and or sugar, meaning fruit or any kind of sugar. If you eat foods in this order, your body slows down through the digestive process, the absorption of sugar, and then the way your body regulates that through insulin. Super important, especially if you're looking to optimize even further your performance on all levels, not just from an athletic perspective, but in terms of a proper energy management perspective. Try it on yourself and let me know in the comments, how has this impacted your energy levels, your glucose levels, if you're monitoring that. Drop a comment, try it for a month. Let me know. Oh, I'm pumped up right now. Cardio is a major priority. VO2 max. I'm sure you've heard it a million times. Being strong, having a high VO2 max is required for healthy, well-balanced living, high quality of life. Right? It's not just about longevity. It's about being strong and powerful and balanced throughout your life for the one goal, high quality of life. That is the singular focus. You want to be dynamic. You want to be strong. You want to show up present. You are God. Okay? I'm not using this as a reference to religion or anything like that. But that is the thing that you're striving for. I'm not saying that you are God, right? But using it as an example, because you are your universe. Everything is subjective. No one knows how you feel. You're the only one who knows how you feel. So why not optimize your life to feel as strong and as powerful, as dialed in as you can? Nutrition, core values, doing the work, putting in the reps, getting better, 1% plus one every day. Wow, look at this sunset. Oh man. We'll talk about gratitude visualization the next time. I'm gonna spin around. Look at this beautiful, look at that. Oh, all right, thanks for dropping in. Please like, subscribe, all that fucking nonsense, but it does help and I do appreciate it. Download the 10 steps to everyday action. I love you all. See you next time.